But it's an interesting point you raised, because most governments in the world espouse a vision of being a biotech hub, but it's not an industry that's emotional in the way that automotive production is, or that is. I wonder sometimes, is it likely to suffer in the downturn because there isn't the political will there to support that industry in the way that there is for the big production facilities and automotives and other industries like that? So what's the answer? Does that mean, in the absence of these mini bailouts, as you said, and this lack of funding to get them past the initial stages, what does that mean? The deaths of 1 million little biotech companies across Europe? Is that the outlook? Because it's sounding fairly grim from the way this conversation's gone now.
Yes, but if there's an opportunity there, if the technologies are decent, they're not going to die. I mean, earlier on, I think we asked the question, what makes a good small biotech? And I think certainly top of the list was technology, the talent, the scientific talent, I think, that goes particularly when it's based in a cluster. For example, here it would be London, Cambridge and Oxford. But the other sort of element that I don't think people picked up on perhaps so much, and that was a proper commercial management team. And certainly many small biotechs do lack some commercial acumen in relation to distinguishing what is a commercial venture from a not that long ago university funded project. So going back to where we were, are we going to see the death of all these little biotechs? I think actually a good management team with a track record, plus some proper funding, and even though it's grim, some people will be creative, I am sure. That's finance. Putting the right elements together, then surely there can be some consolidation of these technologies through proper finance and a well-tested and commercial management team, not a bunch of scientists that kind of, when they're grown up, they become CEOs of companies.
And perhaps in all of that, there is an opportunity for locations that are able to put in place the government measures and the support system to see these small companies through the difficult early years, and then out of that be able to attract bigger companies and grow a cluster. Would you perhaps like to comment on, is Spain have the right regulation, the right tax policies, and the right support systems in place in order to be able to help small companies overcome these challenges?
Well, I would say I'm coming from the Basque Country, as I told you in the beginning. Maybe I will tell my story, local story, now that you say about small local promotion. I think that in the case of the Basque Country, we have a small government, because it's a small region with a small government, but very high degree of autonomy. We have our own tax system, we have our own tax separate authorities, and they manage their own money. They don't depend on the central Spanish government. So they are trying to promote a bioregion in the Basque Country. We are competing with Madrid, which is the main bioregion in Spain, and also with Barcelona. But if small is good, as we have been talking about, I think we are maybe in the right direction, because there are like 70 small startups, biotech companies in the Basque region, and I think that it's easier for a small government like the Basque government to put money, to create public venture capital funds, which are in place already, venture capital funds, but that are funded by the government, and well, they concentrate. They have the money because of this special autonomy, and they concentrate on this sector. So I think it's probably the third bioregion in Spain with very good prospective development is the Basque Country. And I think that the government backing in terms of taxes and grants and also research centers, premises and so on is there. What we need really is more talent, more universities, but that's not easy to do it. That not only depends on the government, no? But the government approach and the government backing I think it's well focused. And I'm talking about my case. In the case of Madrid, I think they are in a much more advanced stage. It's a bigger region, has much more companies. All the big pharmas are there, so there's more. There are more universities, more hospitals. It's a bigger thing, no? So and also Barcelona, no? But I think that the Basque region is going to be the third bioregion in Spain, no?
I think in the case of all the administration, Spanish administration and the government, I think it's very important to take into account the so-called Plan E. It's a plan approved by the Spanish government in order to stimulate the economy within this dramatic crisis. And I would like to stress on those measures aimed at providing financing to small and medium enterprises, not only for financing their project, but also financing their working capital, because in many cases they have problems in the working capital. And the government is put it into practice through our so-called ICO, Instituto de Crédito Oficial. It's a public credit institution. This is very important and highly welcomed by our SMEs. Also, it's very important to reduce all the burdens, administrative burdens for the companies. For that reason, also within this plan, they have included a package to reduce from now until 2012 30% of the burdens with very concrete measures. And in general, this plan is amounting close to 4% of our GDP. It's very impressive plan with many measures, not only for SMEs, but also for the financial system and so. And it's important also for us, for investing in Spain, in this context of credit crunch, to try to do two kind of things. In the biotech sector, we are promoting with the regions, the so-called biopartnering. You are expert in this, Jorge. Perhaps you can tell us something more. The idea is to be like, in a Spanish book, La Celestina, to be the Celestinos. That means the intermediaries among companies, mainly SMEs, and potential investors, sources of financing. And also is another of our targets is the so-called sovereign wealth funds. Funds in general, but these funds, that's the last 2 years, received too many resources because of the oil prices. Now they are looking for opportunities to invest. They are not looking for investing in public debt only or in the stock exchange only, because last year they had a very bad result with the stock exchange, let's say, crash. But they are looking for opportunities, concrete opportunities in niches or in sectors with very important potential for growth. And in this sector, in this field, what we are doing is to knock at the door of the sovereign wealth funds and other funds, tell them, okay, Spain is changing. For the medium term, Spain is presenting too many opportunities in these new sectors of Spain, not so well known abroad, and they are coming, having interviews with the companies.
Have they been receptive to this idea?
Yeah, and mainly not only for doing business in Spain, but for doing business with Spanish companies, for instance, in Latin America, using these kind of strategic alliances with the Spanish companies in our natural markets. Now we are the second investor, but in Latin America, apart from the language, the history, the institutional relations with many agreements to avoid double taxation, to promote investment and so on. So they are looking for the Spanish expertise to do business there. And we have cases of Chinese companies, for instance, Huawei, doing business with Telefónica, not established in the technological park of Malaga and in Madrid, but their main business is not in Europe, is in Latin America. They are the first provider of modems in Brazil and now in Chile. And this new, let's say, factor of Spain, we would like to widen in all the sectors, not only in ITC, but also in in biotech in the future. Now it's early, no, to say that. But there are too many things to do from the, let's say, the public side.